Today is day 3 of our 31-day challenge to study together the book of Proverbs. And today's focus is chapter 3. So I'm entitling Proverbs 3, Wisdom's Heart. And be sure to open your Bible and follow along. You could circle the word heart in verse number 1 and circle it again at the end of verse 3 and again in verse number 5. Clearly, our heart is an emphasis of this chapter about wisdom. First, notice this idea of a healthy heart, and that's what verses 1 through 10 are describing. When we have godly wisdom in our hearts, it shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones, verse number 8. And the key to having a healthy heart is to let thine heart keep his commandments, verse 1, and to write mercy and truth upon the tables of thine heart, verse number 3, and to trust in the Lord with all thine heart, verse number 5. That's how you foster a healthy heart. Secondly, notice the prescription for a happy heart in verses 11 through 26. Verse 13 says, happy is the man that findeth wisdom. And verse number 18 says, happy is everyone that retaineth wisdom. Recipients of heavenly wisdom are happy even in the midst of chastening, verse number 11. They don't despise it because they know that it brings them more wisdom, so instead they delight in it. Verse 22 describes happiness when it says that wisdom brings life unto thy soul and grace to thy neck. You could write the word happiness next to that verse because that's what it's describing. Same thing with verse 23. Wisdom brings safety. So you could write the word happiness next to that verse as well. Same thing with verses 24, 25, and 26. Your sleep shall be sweet. A restful heart is a happy heart, because the Lord shall be your confidence, in verse 26. So thirdly, in verses 27 through 29, the focus changes from our hearts being happy in his wisdom to us being helpful to our neighbor. If the power of thine hand can help your neighbor, do it, verse 27 says. And if you can help them today, don't make them wait until tomorrow. Help them today, verse 28. And wisdom would tell you, don't plot evil against your neighbor since he lives right by you, or he works right next to you, or he goes to church with you. Be helpful to your neighbor and do it genuinely from your heart. Lastly and fourthly, notice verses 30 through 35. They describe a humble heart. Specifically, verse 34 mentions the lowly. Contrastingly, a proud heart is full of envy, frowardness, wickedness, scorn, and shame. But the Lord's secrets is with the righteous. And he blesseth the habitation of the just, verse number 33. And he giveth grace to the lowly. It's grace for the humble heart. So by way of review, this is wisdom's heart. When a person has a heart of wisdom, then they'll have a healthy heart, a happy heart, a helpful heart, and a humble heart. I trust that this study has strengthened you. And be sure to read Proverbs 3 on your own and comment below and let me know what the Lord has taught you from this passage. And join us for the upcoming study on day 4 of Proverbs 4 as we continue this 31-day challenge through the book of Proverbs.